Facilitation is one of the core offers that Meus provides. The word's interesting for me. It comes from the French word facile, meaning simple or easy. So part of our approach to facilitation is to make a meeting as easy as possible for the client. Really, facilitation is the art of having productive conversations, and for that a facilitator has to do much more than keep time and write legible flip charts and stick to an agenda. I mean, those are the shallow end of the pool for facilitation skills. The real value that a facilitator adds is the ability to be present in a meeting, to really listen deeply, and to abandon the agenda in service of the client's outcome occasionally, to really go where the group needs to go to have the quality of conversation and the depth of realization that moves the business forward. And that's about much more than producing flip charts. It's about deep level listening. It's about producing a collaborative energy within the group. It's about supporting decision making and aligning hearts and minds within the meeting. And there are particular skills that a facilitator needs in order to do that. Interestingly, I think that the amount of work that goes into setting up a meeting effectively is often vastly underrated. But if a facilitator does a good job in pre-work and in setup, it makes the work of the meeting so much more fluid, so much more efficient, so much more productive and enjoyable for everybody. In organizations, people have meetings all the time, but people never really meet in a meeting. And part of the work that Meus does as facilitators is to enable people to really engage at a deeper and more productive level. Some people are bored by most meetings that they attend in organisations, and I think that's partly because there's not enough passionate debate. And it's as though people are afraid to say, this is what I feel, this is what I'm committed to, this is what I stand for. Because if somebody else says, well, I stand for something different, they imagine that that's wrong. So part of the educative process that we bring as facilitators and as consultants and as trainers is to help people realise that when there's passionate debate in the room, that's a good thing. People needn't go scuttling for cover at that point. Actually, let's stay here. This is an exciting moment. Let's see where this goes. And I think people don't really know how to channel feelings effectively in organisations. So when feelings are ignored or not engaged with or suppressed, the energy goes out of the conversation, the commitment goes out of the work. Therefore, part of what we're about is in making sure that at the same time there are excellent ideas in being exchanged in groups, that feelings have a place as well, and that intuition and that, the rumblings of your gut have a place in decision making. As well as undertaking organisational-wide change initiatives, one of the things that we delight in at Meus is working individually as coaches, as mentors and as supervisors, and those are the three fundamental one-to-one business relationships that we have. And people come to us for supervision because they are already ahead in their field, but they want the opportunity to examine what they're doing in their own work and with their own clients in a confidential and inspiring space. The reason that people come to us for supervision is to see something that they're not able to see themselves because they're right up there with their own work, or to get support for very difficult processes that they're engaged in with their clients. People come to us for coaching for all sorts of reasons, because they want to improve performance is an obvious one. But also people come to us for coaching because it's through the quality of the one-to-one relationship and the space that we hold that they see things about themselves that they don't get to see through any other relationship, professional or personal. And when we do mentoring, What people are most interested in is not just the direct reflection on what we see them doing in their workplace, but on conversations that we can have about what we might have done differently. So there's a real skills transfer in that mentoring relationship. Working on any organisational change agenda obviously involves us working with leaders and on leadership development issues. For me, that's really special work and really kind of privileged work. As a coach, I work with leaders individually and find ways of supporting and stretching their thinking, of being an objective and a confidential sounding board, and of really contributing to the development of some exciting ideas together, and importantly also developing the quality of relationship where I can just be very truthful, very direct, very honest and straightforward, and call leaders on things, name things that I'm seeing in them. We also work with leadership teams, executive teams, on strategy development issues and also on team dynamics. Why that's so important is because if you can just get a 1% improvement in a leader's or a leadership team's performance, the effect, because of where they sit in the organisational hierarchy, the effect on the organisation can be to shift the organisation's performance by 80%. So working at the top end of an organisational hierarchy has a fantastic catalytic effect on the whole system. I think that's really important, that the work that you do with an individual leader has organisational and sometimes social value.